Hi, welcome to Guide to Fluency, where we review language programs and apps to help you on your language learning journey. Today I'm going to be comparing two popular but super different language apps, the super new Jumpspeak and the more well-known Babbel. We've been using both of these. By the way, if you want a more detailed review, go ahead and check out the written article we have on our website. All you gotta do to get there is Google Guide to Fluency, Jumpspeak versus Babbel. Alright, so I want to quickly explain how these two apps work. I think this will give us a good baseline for the big highlights of both apps coming up in a minute, so let's start with Jumpspeak. Basically, Jumpspeak uses AI to totally immerse you in the language you're learning, and they do it in two main ways. First up are their short standard lessons. These are pretty typical language app lessons broken into 4 quick sections, each taking only a couple of minutes. You've got Listen, where you listen to an audio clip and pick the right answer, then Write, where you text out responses in a simulated conversation. Next is Speak, where you listen and then repeat out loud. And finally, Conversation, which is like the Write exercise, but you speak your responses. Honestly, these lessons are pretty standard, kind of like what you'd find on Duolingo, but then the second and really cool part of Jumpspeak is their AI tutor. This is what the company is known for. It's designed to help you practice listening and speaking by simulating real-life conversations. These mock chats cover stuff like shopping, health, dating, everyday things. You can answer however you want, and the AI tutor responds in a personalized way, making it super interactive and tailored to real conversation. I'll talk more about this AI tutor later, but for now, that's how Jumpspeak will work day to day for you. Now, Babbel's lessons are somewhat similar to Jumpspeak's standard lessons, but they take them way further. They're longer, more detailed, and they weave in lots of grammar. Each Babbel lesson has a bunch of quick interactive drills, listen and repeat, digital flashcards, fill in the blanks, matching, mock conversations, and little grammar tips. It's a super diverse approach, and lessons usually take about 15 minutes. Babbel basically presents the content in tons of different ways and makes you interact with it through writing, speaking, reading, and listening. Overall, their lessons just feel more comprehensive and varied. Plus, outside of the main lessons, there are daily review sessions with spaced repetition on vocab you've already learned that take like 2 to 3 minutes, and other extras like games, audio lessons, podcasts, and even digital magazines. Basically, they pack the curriculum into engaging lessons and then reinforce what you learned with personalized reviews and other cool tools. Okay, so before we get into what I like and didn't like, let's quickly talk about how these two compare from a pricing perspective. Jumpspeak has a few options: $69 for 3 months, $99 for 12 months, or $249 for lifetime access with all languages included. Pretty straightforward. Babbel's plans are between $8 and $15 per month, depending on how long you sign up for. Their lifetime plan starts at $399, that's $399, but you can usually find it for about $250 as well, which also includes all their languages. So honestly, the pricing is pretty similar between the two, no clear winner there, but I recommend you to check the sales and coupons before buying. We'll keep the description updated with their latest promos, so be sure to check that out before purchasing. These two apps are pretty competitive about their pricing, so you should always be able to find some sort of discount. Alright, now let's get to my thoughts on how these two language apps stack up and where each one shines. Let's start with why you might choose Babbel over Jumpspeak. First, the biggest thing I loved about Babbel's program compared to Jumpspeak's is the variety. Jumpspeak's standard lessons can feel a bit basic and repetitive. You're mostly just choosing multiple choice answers or repeating words. Babbel, on the other hand, has a ton of different drills, which keep things balanced and engaging. Like I said, there are listen and repeat flashcards, fill in the blanks, matching, mock conversations, grammar tips. All that diversity really kept me hooked during lessons. Next pro for Babbel, I think Babbel does a really good job with grammar instruction. Rather than avoiding grammar instruction like some apps or killing you with long, boring explanations, Babbel smartly layers grammar insights right into their lessons. It's usually just short explanations or tips that pop up throughout the lesson, giving you some context on how and why words are being used. You'll also find dedicated exercises that explain concepts quickly and concisely, striking about the best balance out there for learning grammar without getting bogged down. Finally, we like Babbel's daily review sessions. Jumpspeak has a words review tool, but we still prefer Babbel's reviews. Almost every time you log in, it prompts you to do a short review. Babbel pulls vocab from old lessons you've completed for a spaced review session, so you'll see every word or phrase at least a half a dozen times over several months. Plus, you can choose how you want to review: flashcards, listening, speaking, or writing. The review system is pretty strong for helping you remember and internalize new words and phrases. So that's Babbel. Now let's flip the script and cover the main reasons you might want to go with Jumpspeak. The first cool advantage of Jumpspeak is their use of video. Most lessons start with a short video explainer featuring a native speaker. They walk you through what you're about to learn, give examples, and explain why the topic is important for Spanish, French, Italian, or whatever language you're learning. When used right, video can be a powerful tool for picking up on a language and activating those parts of your brain that pick up on a language intuitively, like you did as a kid before entering school. To me, this is a huge plus for Jumpspeak because Babbel doesn't really have many visuals or video. The next advantage for Jumpspeak, and this is a huge one, is their AI tutor. This is their bread and butter. It's basically like having your own personal language coach. You pick a topic, start a dialogue with the AI bot, and it guides you through practical scenarios, like negotiating a salary or talking to your doctor. You can even create your own scenarios like planning a party. The AI tutor acts like a conversation partner, giving you real-time feedback on your pronunciation, phrasing, and grammar, which is super effective for improving your speaking skills. I also like that you're free to answer however you want, making the experience feel natural and tailored to your learning style. Lastly, and this might be a minor point, but I really like how Jumpspeak lets you control how fast the fluent speakers talk during the drills and exercises. In the settings, you can slow the audio down to as low as 50%, which I found super beneficial. When you slow the pace down, it helps you clearly hear the pronunciation and inflection points, which is crucial for mastering new vocabulary and improving speaking skills. Plus, it helps reduce frustration and build confidence as you gradually adjust to native level speeds. So that's all for the positives for Jumpspeak. Now let's get into my final thoughts. Before I forget though, I should mention that here at Guide to Fluency, we're on a mission to help 1 million people learn a second language. As part of that goal, we're giving away a free language learning subscription to one lucky person every month. It's super simple to enter. I'll leave all the details down in the description. Alright, back to my final thoughts. Should you choose Jumpspeak or Babbel to help you learn a new language? Well, when it comes down to it, Babbel and Jumpspeak each have their own unique strengths. But in my opinion, Babbel is still our preferred app overall. We think its overall learning structure will be more effective in helping you toward a higher level of fluency in the long run. But we were big fans of Jumpspeak's focus on listening and speaking. I'd say if you're short on time and have a trip coming up, you may prefer Jumpspeak. But if you're hoping to break into an independent B1 level or higher of your target language instead of just knowing how to make it through a few key conversations, Babbel is our choice. Anyway, it's all I have for you. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more language learning content. Bye for now.